What is going on, debate family? I appreciate you guys that have been tuning in with me, lovers, haters, supporters of all kind. I appreciate you guys coming to check out the show. The panel is always open. You guys are always welcome to come on, speak your piece, talk about any topic that we're talking about. Today, we're going to be talking about an incident that happened out in, I believe, I want to say Jacksonville, but I could be wrong. So, actually, I want to look because I don't want to be wrong. So, give me 1 second. Yeah, Jacksonville. Out in Jacksonville, there was an issue that happened not too long ago that we're going to talk about. Today's episode is just going to be a quick Black Mirror segment so we can touch on this topic. It recently happened. I want to get in the habit of hopping on whenever certain things happen in our community or around the world, especially when it has anything to do with the Black community. And inside of Black Mirror, we're going to talk about it. It's going to be in depth and it's going to be non-biased. I appreciate you guys again that have been coming to the show. Last week I had a really slow week because, of course, well, and I won't say of course because maybe some of you guys don't know, but I do podcasting as well as I do I make music. And so last week I rolled out an album. It's called Lost in the Loop. It's on all streaming platforms right now. I'm sure on some podcast episode I will eventually end up doing a music review on a song or two. I do have another album that's going to be rolling out in November, so you guys are welcome to check those things out. But without further ado, today we're going to in-depth look at the video, the body cam footage from the police officers, and we're going to talk about the social media footage from the guy that posted it on social media. So without further ado, this is Black Mirror with your host, Marcus Williams. I appreciate everybody that's tuned in, locked in, and listening. Let's get started. So, again, today we're going to be watching this video on the incident that happened out in Jacksonville. We'll pause it a few times as we watch it. Viewer discretion is advised. It might be something that certain people or viewers may not want to look at, so I do want to throw that disclaimer out there. But let's just start from, sorry, my AC just turned on. Let me give that a second to turn off real quick. But we're just going to watch the video all the way through. It's about an 8-minute long video. We'll stop it at points just to kind of touch on and talk about certain things, probably give you guys a few hot topic questions to respond to. At any moment now that AC should be going off. I don't know how much it's actually picking up. So. But while I'm waiting on that, I hope all is well. I hope all you guys are doing well. Looks like I might have a little bit of a delay in my video and speech, so we'll rock with it for today right now. I'm not going to stop and try to troubleshoot it. I'm sure everything is still coming through just fine. Any minute now, this AC should turn off. But I am, after rolling out my album now, I'm going to try to get back on the podcast and doing episodes as much as I can. I got a few guest appearances I really want to bring on the show. So there's going to be a lot of things that go into and change over the next couple of weeks, but my consistency really has to step it up. But I just got a lot to do, and there's a lot that goes into this and making music and also working a normal job. So, but let's get straight into it. Let's check out the video and see what we think.
Yeah, Florida 24 Bravo Echo Charlie Whiskey on a silver Kia. I know like this.
250 westbound Kamala 24 Bravo Echo Charlie Whiskey.
Yes, sir.
Is there a reason why you're popping the door open like that?
I don't have a window that works. Is there a reason that you're pulling me over?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a reason why I'm pulling you over. For one thing, inclement weather, you don't have your lights on. Two things, you're not wearing your seatbelt.
It's daylight. I don't need the lights. And it's not weather. It's not raining.
Oh, this is inclement?
It's not raining.
Okay, I'm not arguing with you. I'm telling you why I'm pulling you over. Give me your driver's license, registration, proof of insurance.
No, call your supervisor.
Okay, cool. So now we got volume. We should be good. So if you asked me already, just at the start of this video, I won't say combative, but just a little difficult to deal with. I'm not an advocate for saying that we should just all comply with police officers anytime they tell us to do something, but I think it would make life and the police stop a lot easier if you just give them what they're looking for. I've been stopped by the police numerous times in my lifetime, speeding, seatbelt tickets, anything of the sort, and I've always had, police come up to my window. I've had my license ready. I've had my insurance ready to give to them so they can do what they have to do, give me a ticket or not, and I can go on about my way. I don't feel like a traffic stop is the time to voice your opinion about too many things, or really put yourself in a predicament that can end up like this. I mean, police officers have a job just like all of us have a job, and they are expected to do it. So I do want to make note of the fact that at the beginning of this traffic stop, the police officer did walk up to his window. He asked him why he popped his door open. You guys have to realize that as a police officer, me walking up to your car, I have no idea why you're popping your door open. As I'm walking up to your car, I have to be cautious on my job. I work a dangerous job. There's no way that I can walk up to your car without you, when you pop the door open, and me not ask you why you're doing that. Second thing is he told him exactly why he was pulling him over. He told him from inclement weather and not having his lights on, which may or may not be a dumb reason, but it's still a reason to be pulled over, and not having his seatbelt on, which he disputed not having the lights on, but he didn't dispute not having the seatbelt on, which will tell you that he probably didn't have a seatbelt on. Now, the moment that he asked him for his driver's license and insurance, he immediately said no. A lot of people are saying that the stop was unjustified or whatever, but we are 5 seconds into the stop and it's already going sideways simply because we've let and allowed social media to think that we have control over these traffic stops. When you are working a job, let's say you're working a customer service job where you service other customers, whether that be restaurant, retail, or whatever the case may be. Your customer that comes in the store doesn't get to dictate the prices because they feel like it should be this price. They don't get to dictate your store hours. They don't get to dictate how you operate and run your business. Now, there is a balance when it comes to customer service and the people that provide the customer service, but in police, there's not really a real give and take. I mean, protect and serve our community all stems around still them doing their active job. It doesn't really have too much input from us as a community. When a police officer asks you to do something, 9 times out of 10, I would say 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to say there's no bad apples in police at all, but 9 times out of 10, it's a lawful order. A lot of times we get on social media, we look at social media and we think that we want to go into these police stops as attorneys when we're normal civilians and have no idea what we're talking about, but allow TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram to tell us what we should and shouldn't be doing at these traffic stops. We all live in different states. We all have different laws. We all have different things that we have to live by in those states and abide by those laws, and don't allow social media to trick you into thinking that you have control over a situation you have none over. He said, call your supervisor. Why did you pull me over? The police officer already explained to him why he pulled him over. Whether you think that that's a justified stop or not can be handled later on in court. When they give you a ticket, it's not an admission of guilt or anything like that. You have the opportunity to go to court after that. A traffic stop is not the time to voice your opinion about how you feel about the traffic stop. When you get your ticket, there's a box on there usually, and there's a court date that's usually set already when they give you the ticket, that you can call down to the courthouse or you can go down to the courthouse on that day and speak your piece. The traffic stop is not the time to do that. Told to step out the vehicle twice. Not one time, not 2 times, but twice. I'm recording, babe. I love you. Did you need something? You just wanted to say hi? I love you. You okay? I'm telling you, yo, Marcus's recording button be tingling, boy. But I'm just trying to get this out before I go to the gym. All right, I love you. Right. Sorry about that. It was a wifey, But again, cop asked him to step out the car 2 times. He decided not to step out the car and proceeded to close his door in a car that, the windows do seem a little bit tinted. There's a lot of factors that goes into a lot of things when you're a police officer. I can't give everybody a chance. I can't give everybody the opportunity to do me something bad and me possibly and potentially not make it home to my kid when this could have been a touch and go. This did not have to be or turn into what it turned into. Now, there's no aggression in this cop at all. He said, call his supervisor. Right after he said, call your supervisor, the officer said, yep. Obviously, still controlled. The officer has no idea what's going on inside the car. But still, is trying to be, cool, calm, and collective on the scene, at least from my point of view at this moment. Excuse me. And at this point, when you're under arrest, all of that shit is out the window. With the supervisor, call a supervisor. As a matter of fact, we'll bring you to the supervisor. You can talk to the supervisor down at the station because you're under arrest. All of that is out the window now. You've lost every chance and every opportunity to be able to voice your opinion, to talk about anything rationally at all, because you're not even being rational. You're not understanding that regardless of who you may think you are or what you may think you're going through, you're not the first person or the only person this cop has pulled over, and even after the stop will pull over probably throughout his shift. So don't make yourself seem so special in thinking that cops are out to get you or pulling you over simply because of the color of your skin or who you are. And I'm not saying that doesn't happen. But again, like in my previous Black Mirror episodes, we can't cry wolf every time a black person does something wrong and then try to sit here and say, oh, well, they shouldn't have gotten the consequences of the situation that they put themselves in. Had he given license, registration, and insurance, honestly, and after they ran his license plate, they found out his license was suspended. So if you have nothing to hide, it's a lot easier when you're at a traffic stop to give the officer everything they're asking for. If I don't know that I have a warrant and I'm running from the police, if I don't know that my license is suspended, if I don't know that my license is suspended, and I'm trying to avoid the cop knowing that, there's really no reason for me to be difficult or be standoffish with the police when they come up to my car, because I have nothing to hide. And at this point, he could have opened the door. He could have opened the door, surrendered, dealt with what he had to deal with as a man, because he put himself in this predicament. And we could have went from there, from that at that point. But the longer he stays in this car with the door closed, and the more officers that pull up to this scene, the more escalated this situation is going to get. And as you can see now, the second officer's arriving, blocking his car in the front. That is 3 times that officer told him, open the door and exit, or we're going to break the window. 3 times. The cops do not have to be this patient with you. Cops do not have to give you chance after chance in order to get out the car and follow a lawful order. They don't have to. And there's going to be so many instances like this over and over again until we get it through our heads and certain people get it through their minds that you don't run the traffic stop. You don't run the law, and you are going to follow the law, whether we have to force you to follow it or you just do it on your own. Yeah, and at this point now, this is 4 cops on the scene, or at least 4 patrol cars. Yeah. Okay. So now we can see why, and this is what I hate so much about black community. We have so many people inside of our community that go through real racial prejudice and real racial problems, and we ignore these facts and we ignore these problems when these situations come up to try to make it just a black thing. As well as driving with a suspended license, no headlight, in inclement weather, he was possessing over 20 grams of marijuana and possessing drug paraphernalia with intent to use. I don't know what state. I don't know if he's allowed to have marijuana in Jacksonville, Florida. Matter of fact, let's look up the rules right now. Is marijuana legal in Florida?
Okay, I found this on the web for his marijuana. Check it out.
Is marijuana legal in Florida? Oh my goodness, dude. Like, just answer the question, Siri. All right, let's do it. Is marijuana legal in Florida? Okay. So possession of up to 20 grams is considered a misdemeanor punishable by 1 year in jail and a fine of up to $1,000 and possible driver's license suspension. So from what I'm reading right now, for recreational use in Florida, marijuana is not legal. And having 20 grams of it is a big deal in a state where it's not legal. So I'm not saying I indulge, from time to time or whatever the case may be. I'm not saying it's a horrible drug to have or anything like that. But we live in a country where we have the freedom to move around and go to different places. If that's something that you want to indulge in, you need to move to a state where it's legal. You can't make this an excuse to say that some states have legal marijuana and some don't. Florida is not a legal state that have recreational marijuana. Having 20 grams of it is probably also the reason he did not want to step out of his car. You have to take these things into consideration whenever we talk about situations that go on inside of our black community. I can see both sides of it, where being punched in the face probably isn't something that we can look at and say is a justifiable use of force. But are we also going to sit here and say that him closing his door, him not stepping out the car, him not providing license and insurance are all passable things prior to the point of force? Police officers are not the type of people that are going to hold your hand, or counselors and say, hey, please do what I asked you to do. They're going to either ask you once and you're going to do it, or they're going to make you do it. And that's just how it's going to go every single time. So let me switch over. Because I'm going to make this episode really short and sweet. I got some things to do today, but I'm going to get back into the roll of things next week. When it comes down to what I talk about black community, I want everybody to understand that I am not belittling the black community. I'm not tearing down the black community. I feel like I'm one of the few that will stand up inside of the black community and say, no, this isn't a racial prejudice issue. No, this isn't a problem. There were also black cops on the scene as well. And most people will sit here and say that black cops are no better than white cops or whatever the case may be. But the chief of police came out and did a press conference yesterday and specifically said, when you guys bring up the black issue, you guys have to realize that I'm a black man too. And I wouldn't work for this company if we were just out hunting black individuals and black families. For what? What would be the gain? It's not like police officers get paid $1 million an hour or $1 million a year or anything like that. What would be the gain for a black person to sign up to be a police officer and go out and legally hunt, or for lack of a better word, legally hunt other black individuals? It makes zero sense. The problem is a lot of us do things and say things based on emotion, and we'll look at a video and let our emotions channel how we feel about stuff and the words that we use when we talk about stuff when it has nothing to actually do with anything. I'm not going to say that him being punched in the face was an okay thing to deal with and go through or whatever. But at the same time, too, I'm also not going to sit here and say that he was justified in the way that he acted and what he was doing. At the end of the day, again, police officers have a family to go home to. They are humans just like we are, and they have a job to do just like we do. So I'm not going to sit here and demonize the police officers, especially the police officer that was on scene first and did not escalate it. When his other officers got there, you have to realize nobody's playing with their life. Nobody's playing with you. So at the end of the day, when we start talking about things inside of our black community and what we can do better, this is one of them. Don't carry drugs while you're driving. Make sure your license is good. Make sure your insurance is good. And if all of those things are not in order, I can guarantee you will probably run across a cop that will give you leniency as long as you were cooperative with him. Hey man, I'm going through a rough time right now. My insurance is it up right now? I'm trying to take care of it or whatever. I've had cops giving me a break on not having a license. I've had cops giving me a break on not having insurance. I'm not saying all cops will, but I'm saying when you do this over just explaining your situation and what's going on, because believe it or not, there is a human factor to many police officers, and they understand how hard it is for a lot of us citizens out here in the real world. Every cop isn't bad, but when you do stuff like this, you can only expect the escalation that you receive. This is the Debate Tokyo-ish segment, Black Mirror. I appreciate you guys that have tapped in with me, that have came and listened to the show, commented, interacted. We're going to keep things going, man. I appreciate you guys. Next week will be a whole lot better of a run with the podcast. I'm going to have episodes out Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I'm also going to be doing a music review on some of the music that I have released. But I appreciate you guys that have tapped in with me. This is the Debate Tokyo-ish with your host, Marcus Williams, and I will see you guys on Monday.